Let's go, we can cut. Yeah, we're rolling now.
Great. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Thank you for giving us the chance to interview you. What is your name?
Marty Levin.
What is your previous position held in the military?
First, I was enlisted, 1972. I came enlisted and went to LPN, Licensed Practical Nurse School, and then I joined the reserves and went back to school and got my undergraduate degree in nursing, and I came up in the ranks through enlisted, and then I became an officer, and my retired rank was lieutenant colonel.
Where were the places you served?
Well, first was Fort McClellan, Alabama, San Antonio, El Paso, Texas, Fort Gordon, Georgia, and then San Antonio again, and then Walter Reed.
What made you interested in joining the American Legion after your service?
I joined in 2009 when I was getting out of the service. Somebody invited me to find out what it was like, and it sounded like fun. It was a way of connecting and meeting other people.
What are some of your favorite things that you have done with the American Legion?
I love doing the parades because for the past couple years, our unit rode in the parade, and last year I rode on my recumbent bike with my little dog, and we came in, we placed, and then that was in the only day parade, and we also placed in the Laytonsville parade.
How do you feel like your role in the American Legion is a continuation of your service to your country and community?
I definitely feel I'm still serving. I live over at Friend's House, which is a retirement community, and there are lots of veterans that I've met over the 4 years that I've been there, and I came upon these people, I met these people by just conversation, and I had a sense that they were a veteran, and they said yes. They weren't wearing anything, they didn't act any differently that indicated to me that they might be a veteran, but I was just right on, and it's interesting that they share their story, and if I can help them in any kind of way in terms of getting medical care or getting metro access, I'm more than glad to do that.
What would you tell somebody who may be interested in joining Norman Price Post 68?
It's a service unit, and we provide service and connections and help for veterans, whether they're active duty or retired, or whether they're sons of American Legion or daughters of American Legion. And there are lots of veterans out there who need help, and it's a way of directing them to resources so that they can possibly get the help that they need.
All right. Would you like to share any stories or quotes from military or out of military?
Yeah, just do it. And just re-say the...
That's going on the blooper reel. Do you have any stories or quotes that you'd like to share?
Sure. My father was a troop commander with the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps at Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, long before you were a twinkle in your parents' eye and long before I came around. But when I joined the service in 1972, he shared the yearbook, which I still have with his picture in it, and he said, "This is what your basic training is going to be like, and if you remember anything else, when you talk with somebody or you get documentation, make sure you keep that documentation for a long time. Make a date, name, phone number, role, everything like that that's important, because it will haunt you later on if you don't, and it's important information to keep in your records." And that's what I've tried to do, and that's what I try to pass on to other people.
All right, thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
Questions? So...
Ask more about parades?
Yeah.
Alright.
Hey, Jesse. Do you want to look at Liam or do you want to have him look at the camera?
If you could look at Liam.
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
What is the third question? What is your role as the
Resource officer.
resource officer for post 16? Alright. Alright, could you tell me a little bit more about the parades?
Well, I think it's a long day, as you all know, and most of the time it's hot. But I like being part of the group, and I like showing the community who we are and what we do, and that we're available as a resource to the community. A lot of people don't know what the Legion is, just like they may not know what other service organizations are out there. And it's a personal choice, American Legion versus VFW or DAV. But I think they're all service organizations. It's a way to connect. And my job as a resource/school officer, or school officer, I guess, service officer, is to meet new people, give them my information, ask them what they have issues with in terms of benefits or paperwork or medical care. If I can help them, I will. If I need to refer them to somebody else who is a resource, I will do that too. So I feel like I'm still serving.
All right, how long have you been doing the parades with the Legion?
I've been with, I joined American Legion Post 295 in 2009, and then when I moved here to Friend's house in 2020, so it's been 4 years, but a total 15 years altogether.
All right. What is your role as the resource officer for Post 68?
Okay, it used to be called service officer. I still consider it a service officer resource position. Again, it's meeting new people, connecting with other service members, and just listening to their story because it's their story. The other thing I've done as a resource officer is I've arranged for 17 veterans to get what's called a Quilt of Valor. And that's just acknowledging their service time. And it's a really nice ceremony. And I don't make the quilts, but I have arranged it for 2 years since I've been at Friend's house. And it's really heartwarming because these people, mostly older veterans, really appreciate being recognized. And these quilts are beautiful. And you get a certificate. And I had a bugler come and play taps. And we even had the geese fly over the pond at Friend's house. And it was just very heartwarming and humbling to me that I can do that for these people. I feel like that opens the door to let them know that I'm a resource person.
And sorry, can I see them?
I actually have a question for you. I'll ask that in a second. So I know that you've been recruiting for the American Legion. Can you tell us about like your recruitment of other members? Because I know recently you talked to 2 people about joining.
Right, I have recruited 3 people. All of them are veterans. I tell them that the unit or American Legion is having a membership campaign and you can get a reduced price being a member. And I tell them about the activities and I invite them to the events. Like 2 of them came to your picnic last weekend, I guess it was. And I met this person at the parade, at the only day parade, waiting in line. And she also happened to be a nurse, and she happened to be at an event that I went to, a Nurse Corps reunion at Fort Myer. And I didn't know anybody else around here. So it was a networking thing. And I try to promote the networking because I feel like that's what it is, just like with the Scouts. It's a form of networking and community service.
That's awesome.
Yes, it is amazing.
Think of anything else?
I think your
If
I
we
think
wanna-
your membership as a Scout, starting from real young to Eagle and beyond, will serve you well. It will look good on your resume. It'll be impressive to whatever job you go into or college. It'll be impressive, and I've been very impressed with all of what you've done. And when I went to the first Eagle Scout ceremony a couple years ago, I sat there and I was in tears because it was just so humbling to see young people like all of you with badges. I was a Girl Scout for 8 years, and we never had that. I mean, we had to do badges, but not anywhere as many as you all do.
All right. Is there just anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you for this opportunity, and I'd like to know what you're going to do with this interview or this project.
I'm gonna upload like the full thing just on YouTube, but I'm also creating a larger documentary where I'll include different sound bites and different footage from the parade,
Okay.
the flag ceremonies, all of that thing, your interviews, Charlie's interviews, just put it all together in one giant
Okay.
kind of movie.
Oh, okay. And then we'll be able to get a copy of it?
Yes, so
Yeah.
it'll be on YouTube, and there'll be
Oh,
like
okay.
links to that and such, and it'll be on the Maryland website.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So yeah,
Do you want Liam to ask the question that you asked so that it's like hearable on the thing, or
I'm
No,
good.
it's fine.
Yeah, I'll pick
it's
it up.
just secure? Okay.
Actually, I do want to touch on one quick thing.
Sure.
Is so I know there's kind of like there's a big connection between the American Legion and the scouting organization, and if you could just discuss your thoughts on that more, like you could talk more about scouting and its relationship to the American Legion, to your post, and how you sponsor it.
Well, okay. Growing up as a Girl Scout and then joining the service, I never really connected the two until I joined this unit. And it's a service organization. It looks good for you. It builds morale. It builds confidence. And our unit supports you. You support us. So it's a two-way relationship. And, you know, I don't know anybody who has a child who's young enough or old enough to be in Scouts, but I try to promote the Legion just for somebody getting out of the service. And generally, I think, and it's been a while, they're supposed to, when you transition from the military, I think there's some information of offering a membership. That membership is up to you. When you're on active duty, you get it for free, but I didn't know anything about it while I was on active duty. I didn't. And then it was when I got off active duty that somebody invited me to come join. So I think it's a continuous recruitment, and I think it gets better. Thank you.
all right. Do you want to go over this here, or
I think we kind of touched on that. So.
all right then?
I'm just curious. What do the different like pins on your hat mean? Like how do members earn those?
Oh, these are pins that I've collected from conventions, and some of the conventions that are yearly in Ocean City. And even when I was with Post 295, I didn't know anything about the conventions in Ocean City. So this is the service officer pin, and I don't know if that's going to change as resource officer, but they're just, you know, the American flag. They're, I don't know, more or less pins that I have either purchased or were given as going to the convention.
So they're from like community building thing where you
Right.
interact with other members. Okay.
I guess you could say it's sort of like your sash, but
Yeah.
you know what you've done. Those are probably more meaningful. These are pins from previous organizations or other organizations. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still show what you've done or who you know,
right,
experiences. But yeah, that's
right.
cool.
I have a question.
Certainly.
So, while you were serving, did you have like a group of friends or like a best friend, you know, in military?
Yeah, I guess I do or did, and I still am in touch with somebody who is a social worker, and I met this gentleman and his family when I was stationed in Fort Gordon in 1975, and in 1978, when I lived down here at Aspen Hill, I got a call from Jim. Hi, we're back in town, and they had just come from Fort Carson, Colorado, and he was at Fort Meade. So I never say goodbye. I say see you later, because you hold on to friends for a long time. So, and I cherish what my father told me about keeping records, because I've got 40 plus years of records, and I know which ones are important. And just like your Eagle Scout badge work and everything that goes with it, keep it in a safe place, because it will follow you. And I think that was good advice. So
It's really nice.
So with the American Legion, does the American Legion give you the ability to reconnect with other veterans, and does it foster a community among veterans?
Oh, I most definitely think so. Being at Friend's House and it being a Quaker community, initially when I got there, they wouldn't tell me who the veterans were. And like I said before, it's just this, I don't know what it is, a feeling when I meet somebody, I don't know what their body language shows me or the way they talk. I just say, are you a veteran? I like connecting and I like meeting new people. And a lot of the veterans that are over at Friend's House are in their 90s. And, you know, we have something in common. So, and I feel like it's their story and I listen to their story. Some people don't want to listen to their story. Some people don't even want to share their story. So I respect that.
All right. Is there anything you'd like to say about the flag retirement ceremonies?
I've been going to that since I've been with Post 68. I think it's awesome. I think I don't know. You never know what to do with an American flag when you've had it for years and it's torn and tattered and it's got memories. But I think this is a sacred way of properly retiring them. And I like the turnout and I like the way it's done.